Brian Glover here. I wanted to do this video about LL Cool J. He recently dropped his 14th album, The Force. It's entirely produced by Q-Tip. And, you know, that's a legendary run, like, you know, for artists and, like, you know, for him to be able to do a press tour and, like, you know, still be relevant. But I've been watching, like, a lot of his interviews, and I think, like, you know, LL Cool J might be a narcissist if there ever was one. Everything's about him. Like, you know, I saw, like, you know, on the Joe Budden podcast where he was saying basically, like, you know, he didn't consider that Jay-Z or DMX was in the Mount Rushmore of Def Jam. And I thought, like, you know, that didn't make sense. If you look at the actual Mount Rushmore, you know, presidents, they're, like, you know, years apart. But, like, you know, this is, like, you know, only a 40-year span. January, Def Jam just celebrated their 40th year anniversary. And I think at one point, like, you could say that Def Jam was the greatest label in the history of rap. But now that we know about, like, Russell Simmons' sexual assault allegations, and, like, you know, they have, like, you know, a roster of artists, like, I think, like, it's still impressive. Benny the Butcher, YG, I think Mooney Long, who else is on Def Jam? Big Sean. But, like, you know, it's not as relevant as it was. So, like, that's not, like, as big as a flex as, like, you know, it might have been, like, say, in the 90s of building, like, you know, like, the greatest label. But, like, you know, I just want to look at, like, you know, some other labels. I feel like, you know, like, would you put Craig Mack on the Mount Rushmore of Bad Boy? Like, you know, he was, like, you know, definitely one of the artists who was responsible for starting Bad Boy. But, like, you know, is he going to make it over the Locks? Is he going to make it over, like, you know, obviously the Notorious Big? So, like, I don't think, like, you know, just because you were the first artist on the label, like, you know, that helped launch it, that doesn't mean, like, you know, that, but, like, LL Cool J obviously has had a more incredible career than Craig Mack and, you know, a lot of, like, different contemporaries. But I would definitely put, like, you know, DMX and Jay-Z, and that's kind of like a little bit of delusion. One of the things I also noticed, like, you know, is like the beef with cannabis, and, like, the whole reason it started, you know, he said it was territorial. He didn't have any real reason for going at cannabis. Like, LL Cool J pretty much just attacked cannabis because cannabis admired him and, like, you know, wanted to get a tattoo like him, like, you know what I mean, the microphone, and, you know, basically ruined this guy's career because, like, you know, he gave him a compliment. He wanted to be like him. I think, like, you know, that's a little wild. Like, you know, LL Cool J, like, you know, obviously is a great artist, but, like, at the end of the day, man, like, you know, a little bit of a narcissist, you know, a little bit self-involved, like, you know, watching these interviews. Let me know in the comments what you think.